he weirdly has something to prove coming into next year, as well as that team. I would have loved to have seen this version of Team USA have to deal with the team with Giannis. Now, we might get to see him have to deal with Luka, because he is by far the best guy that is playing in this. He's killing everybody in his sight. He looks the best he's looked in a summer, for sure, in terms of every time you see a picture of him, he's clearly, there's always this time. And I've seen it happen with a lot of the European guys as well. I'm not saying that there aren't American players that start to watch what they eat and really start taking care of themselves. But there have been several, like whether it was Sabonis, whether it was Marc Gasol, whether it was the reigning MVP and world champion Nikola Jokic, right? Like these guys that there comes a moment as they're kind of in those mid-20s after some years in the league and they're already awesome, that they start taking all the off-the-court stuff more seriously, and then they turn into different deals. And it's not like Luka wasn't already one of the best players in the world, but he dominates people. He had 4 steals today in the game. And I do think that we may catch. I think this might be foretelling of a season where it's like, okay, now we're going to start to remember when we thought this guy could be the best player in the league. He's not hot right now. They didn't end up making the playoffs. He wasn't having the big playoff moments. He wasn't even involved. And so we were all about it, just a few years ago when they were making that crazy run to the West Finals. And then last year was kind of a downturn. Maybe this year will be the remind everyone who exactly he is.
Well, if you look at the FanDuel NBA MVP odds, right now Luka is third at plus 650, Giannis second, plus 500, Jokic is the favorite at plus 430. Do you think Luka should be the favorite?
No. I mean, he still has to do it. And those other two.
But considering everything you just outlined, how amazing of shape he looks like he's in, this could be a prove-it year for him. Yep. Well, he has Kyrie Irving as his co-star on the team. I like their offensive rating was unbelievable when those guys shared the floor in minutes last season. Luka could be in store for a huge season.
Yep.
So you just think third is appropriate?
Just because of the other two, right?
But would you pick him? Like if you're making your prediction early, this isn't an official prediction. It's only August 28th as we record. But today, would you pick Luka as MVP?
I think that if you were asking me to place a bet, that's what I would do.
You'd place the bet on Luka plus 650. Okay.
Correct.
I think that's completely fair.
I think it's just better odds because I do think they're going to be vastly improved as a team. And
oh yeah,
I mean, if you're watching, I know they're playing against Georgia, in this game today, but it's not like he's not doing this against everybody. He's looked amazing this summer, and I do think that he weirdly has something to prove coming into next year, as well as that team has something to prove. And so, yeah, I mean, and we always like to give it to somebody new. In the end, when all was said and done, they were raising the trophy, people were like, Jokic is actually the MVP. Even though I know it's a regular season award, but after the Embiid vomiting all over himself when it mattered most, and then Jokic delivering over and over again totally historic performances, we want to give it to somebody different. And so he hasn't had his yet. And Giannis has his, and Embiid has his, and Jokic has his. And so there's no question. There's going to come a year where Luka's the MVP. It's just whether or not it's going to be this one or not. Do you think? He'll win an MVP.
I'd be shocked if he never won an MVP. I'd be shocked.
Yeah, and he looks great. So I hope Team USA ends up facing them.